Can you hear it with your ears? Can you see it with your eyes? Can you feel it wiggling between your quivering thighs? That thing with James. Once every millennium something will come along. When you feel it you will know it, 'cause it's coming on strong. That thing with James. Sit back, relax, deep breaths, no stress. Let me come inside your mind. I promise you it won't take long, the change will happen soon. You will feel something so special growing deep within you. That thing with James. That thing with James. That's me. Hi, welcome to episode 20 of That Thing with James J. Asher II. That's me! Today, as always, is a special episode, but this is one of those super special episodes because I have a guest whom I will introduce after this little bit of business. I have a Patreon set up, so if you would like to help support this show, you may do so at patreon.com/thatthingwithjames. I've got it set up with various tiers for monthly contributions as low as $1, or you can pay as much as like $3,000 if you've got fuck you money, or if you're just really bad with your money. Whichever it is, if you want to support the show, patreon.com/thatthingwithjames. You can also find me on social media at James J. Asher. I have a website, jamesjasher.com. And if you want to email me to tell me how much you love me, how much you hate me, or if you have just some like musings you want to share or questions, or if you need some advice, hit me up at thatthingwithjames@gmail.com. I will have all of this information typed out in the description. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, please do like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It helps me so I can get more good stuff to you. Okay. Now I promised you I have a special guest today, and I do. She's a very talented actress and model, Alysia Carreras.
Woo! That thing is stuck in my head.
It's stuck in your head?
It's still stuck in my head.
I wanted it to be catchy.
Jinx.
Oh, shit. Okay. So who are you?
I am Alysia. How do you say it again?
Carreras.
Oh, you're so good at it.
I put the at the end. You're not Spanish.
Oh, yeah. No, well,
or is it an if?
I just found out that my dad did Ancestry. Mm-hmm. He found out that he's like 30% or so Spanish.
Spanish?
Yeah.
Any Basque?
What?
Basque?
What's Basque?
Basque is a weird fucking language. Basque are like some like the indigenous peoples of Spain, I guess. I don't know if they're...
Yeah, he's definitely not. No Basque in this family. But he, so I guess I could say that I don't know what my percentage would be, but yeah.
Well, if he's 30%,
and then
you'd be 15.
Well, and then my mom has some percentage too.
Do you know what hers is?
Might be like 17. It was a weird number. 17.
I believe that's called an odd number.
You're right. It is an odd number. But I'm Spanish, so that
it fits.
It's qualified. Yeah.
It fits.
It fits.
What else are you?
Puerto Rican. My dad was born in New York, but he was raised most of his life in Puerto Rico.
Are his parents from Puerto Rico?
Yes. So I go to the island pretty often. as you know, Hurricane Maria did some damage, so it's not what it used to be, but...
But our president fixed it up. You know, he gave them paper towels.
Oh,
right?
God. Don't even get me started on that one. Yeah, he did a lot to help us.
Yeah.
You know who helped us more was, and this sounds crazy, I don't know if you watched The Real Housewives, Bethany Frankel from Real Housewives of New York. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, this, I guess...
Real Housewives of... There's one in New York?
Yeah, there's one in New York.
Now that sounds like something I'd watch. I don't know if I'd want to watch like L.A. or Miami.
No, you don't watch that.
New York's
my
got
favorite.
Some flavor.
Well, especially Bethany. Now I've always been a fan of hers, but...
What's her name again?
Bethany Frankel. She's done a lot for Puerto Rico.
She's like sent money and aid.
She even
and
went
stuff.
down there with planes and gave out so many supplies, drove through the island where the island was hit worse, and just donated a bunch of money, personal money to these families, made sure they were getting the money in their hands, and clothes, any like necessities like toilet paper, all of that good stuff.
All the stuff they need.
She did more than Trump did.
That's that's awful, but it's great that she did that.
Yeah, so I'm a huge fan of hers now.
It's a sad state of affairs where you have to rely on a real housewife to offer, humane
it's
support.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty sad. But love her now, and I support her, even if she's wrong and stuff. But I'm gonna support her.
Does she pump up the drama in the show?
She's just very honest and outspoken.
Okay.
Which I love anyway. So, people don't tend to appreciate that honesty because it can be kind of
a little harsh sometimes.
Yeah, but it's needed.
Yeah.
I feel like it's needed.
It is. The truth hurts. Sometimes the stuff that hurts the most is the stuff that can heal you, right?
Oh, I love that.
I like that too.
I love that.
That'll be on my shirt.
I'm going to use that.
Dude, go for it.
Quote James Asher.
So sometimes the stuff that hurts the most can heal you the most.
I love that. I really do love. I'm going to tap you. You like magic dust when you say that now.
And some glitter.
For
Pride Month. I should just carry a pocket full of glitter everywhere.
Have you done anything for Pride Month?
No.
No? I haven't either.
Looked at memes.
Well, that's all we have. Wait, don't we have a parade in Austin?
Yeah. I feel like there's constantly a pride parade here.
Oh, really? I haven't gone to one.
I used to, for my day job, I used to work downtown on 6th and Congress.
So I was like... saw it. You were in the action.
Yeah. So there's shit all the time.
I haven't done anything.
And over the years, there's stuff every single weekend of the year.
Darn, I'm missing out.
Time.
Okay, so when I first moved to, before I even moved to Austin, I did the very first, I guess it was the Pride, not half marathon, 5K. It was the first one, and I was so proud just to do that. Haven't done it since, but.
Here in Austin?
Mm-hmm. It was the very first one. I think it was 10 years ago.
And were you still living in San Antonio at the time?
I was. So I specifically came to Austin just to do that little run, and it's probably
and that was your first time?
I think that was my first time in Austin, and first time doing a 5K maybe, might have been.
What was that like? Did you train?
No, not at all. This probably sounds incredibly silly, but I ended up walking half the time because I could not run the whole thing.
Well, it's a marathon, you gotta...
I've done a half marathon since
I could picture you just walking, dragging your shit, kill me.
I was like, is this a little uphill? I'm gonna just take it easy for right now.
Okay, so your dad is from New York.
Uh-huh.
And where's your mom from?
I come from a military family, so she was actually born in Japan.
Oh.
She's not Japanese, but she's Mexican.
Okay.
Her family comes from Mexico.
So her parents were military.
Her dad was.
And is your dad military as well?
He and my mom both met in the Air Force.
Oh, they were both Air Force.
Yeah, so that's kind of a cute little love story. My dad tells the story well. It's kind of, I don't do it justice, but they did meet and fell in love in the Air Force. And got married only after a month of being together.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those, he was going to be shipped off.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I know. That's a long time. But yeah, he was going to be shipped off. I forgot where. And then my mom, they didn't want to be separated. So my dad's like, let's just get married. So we go to the same state, same city.
Well, they were still in the service.
My mom retired pretty early on from the military, but my dad stayed in for quite a while. I don't even know how long.
And that's how you ended up in San Antonio, isn't it?
Yep.
For the what's the air base there?
Is it Warner Robins? Lackland Air Force Base.
Lackland, yeah.
I believe that's the one.
I've done a couple gigs for the Air Force at the base. Yeah.
What did you do?
It was like ethics videos.
Oh.
And just they had like different scenarios, so I was playing different characters in these scenarios.
Oh, how fun! I didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't either until
You're like, I'm doing it.
They liked me enough that they brought me back a second time, and it paid pretty well too.
That's what we need to be doing.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's a check.
I mean, yeah, for the check, just for the check.
But okay, but you're not originally from San Antonio.
No.
Where are you from originally?
Warner Robins, Georgia.
Warner Robins, Georgia.
Another Air Force base is located there.
So where is that like in relation to Hotlanta?
Oh, Hotlanta. I remember doing the drive when I was little.
Where in this, like north, south, east, west?
Gosh, you think I would know this?
How old were you?
I was very young. I think I moved from there when I was like 6 or 7.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't remember.
So I wasn't like looking at the map, like where are we located? But
right.
I mean, I should, since I was born there, I should be looking at a map now. But I know it's a very small town. I want to say it's close to Atlanta. Watch that be wrong. They're like, no.
It's actually in Mississippi.
That's not even in Georgia. So my dad was like, we're going to move because there's actually a clip of my brother and I talking, and we have this like southern twang in our voice.
Oh, really?
And my dad's like, I am not going to have my Latina daughter.
Your dad, as a New Yorker, saw
like,
what was happening, and he said, this is a fucking atrocity.
He's like, this is not going to happen. We need to get out of Georgia. But now we're in Texas. Same. Isn't it the same? Like the southern twang?
I mean, pretty much. Yeah.
But it went to Illinois first, and then...
I actually... It's a southern twang, but it's different. I think Texas sounds more like they've got, like, cow shit in their mouth. You know,
That's so true. It's usually they usually have what in their mouth? The tobacco?
Dip.
The dip.
The dip. Don't they put fiberglass in that shit?
I don't even know.
Yeah, so like it makes like micro abrasions in your mouth so you can absorb the nicotine.
Oh, that's awful.
Disgusting.
Yeah, no, I would never.
It's terrible.
I would never. It looks gross.
There were dudes I went to high school with that dipped all the fucking time, and they'd get like an empty, what is that?
Water bottle?
12 ounce of like Dr. Pepper and just spit.
Yeah.
Keep it in their truck.
I was like, they put it on the desk. It would be like disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah,
come
it's
on.
fucking, and they get it like full.
Oh,
it's like you carry that shit around, dude.
Literally.
And then they laugh about, I spilled it. Well, man, I could get that stink out.
I spilled it. Yeah, no, I don't think Georgia sounds like that. You're right.
Yeah, Georgia's more like classic. Like, there was a great. You watch SNL?
I do.
Did you? Have you watched it for like a long time?
It's like in spurts. I'll watch it when I know a guest I like is on. Like
in the early 2000s, it was when I think Will Ferrell was still on there. I forget who played the character, but they were making fun of like Southern gentry.
There you go. Oh my God, you're good at it.
And there's this dude, it's like Civil War and these ladies sitting on a plantation, the porch, fanning themselves, drinking iced tea. And they're talking about Colonel Angus. Colonel Angus? Oh, have you met Colonel Angus? Colonel Angus?
Fair.
Oh yeah, Colonel Angus, he rubbed me the wrong way. I do declare. Is it more kind of like that?
That is so. You're really good at it. I think even South South Carolina? It's like that.
South Carolina.
Or South. Or is it? Yeah, South Carolina.
South Carolina.
You're so good at this.
Yeah.
I can't do them on command. I'm like, but when I hear someone speaking with that little twang, I hear myself doing it. Does
your dad have an accent?
The New York?
Yeah.
He did. He got rid of it. Okay. I don't know if going to Puerto Rico helped him.
Was he from Bronx?
He was from, I think, Manhattan.
Manhattan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think when Home Alone came on, he remembered the toy store. Is
FAO,
that Manhattan?
FAO Schwartz? I don't know. They've got like the talking tree.
It's closed now. It just closed.
I think it's FAO Schwartz.
Okay, then that might be it. Is that Manhattan?
I used to go there. Yeah, that's Manhattan.
Wait, are you from New York?
No.
Oh.
No. I'm from Denver.
Oh, wait. Okay.
And then New Jersey. So we used to... Yeah. Central Jersey. And it's like an hour to take the train up to Manhattan. We'd get off at Penn Station and go to FAO Schwartz and just walk around.
So is that magical?
Oh yeah. I was a kid though. I was like, see, I left Denver when I was 6.
Oh, okay.
And then in '98 we moved from New Jersey. I was like 10 years old. Summer before 5th grade, we moved to Eufaula, Oklahoma.
Oh, that's where Oklahoma comes in. Okay.
Yeah. It's my dad's hometown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
I had an accent when I moved there though.
Really?
Wada.
Oh my gosh.
Bull,
I love the accent.
I do too.
I know people are like, but I love it.
Have you not been
I haven't
up there
even
before?
been.
I think you'd love it.
I know. My dad's like, it's my mom who says it's probably very dangerous, but I'm like,
it's like way safer now than it's ever been.
That's what I keep saying.
Like
I'm like, so many people.
gentrified.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I keep telling my parents. I'm like, I'm sure
I can remember when I was a kid, like, it was still like pretty fucking gritty.
Really?
In the 90s.
Yeah,
mid-90s.
I think that's what my dad has like betted in his head.
Oh yeah, and he's Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Puerto Rican dude in New Jersey. I mean.
Yeah. I hear there's a lot of Puerto Ricans there.
A shit ton.
Yeah, which is like crazy because we don't have many here in Texas.
Yeah.
So it's like it would be kind of cool to be surrounded by more Puerto Ricans, I guess. There's like a handful here in Texas.
There's a little bit of diversity.
Yeah.
In Austin.
Oh, in Austin? Yeah.
Austin's not got a lot of diversity, really.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. Not
really...
compared to a lot of other places. Not even bigger.
Yeah? Okay. Well, yeah, I don't really know. I
think like Minneapolis has like I think it might be Minneapolis. Some city up in Minnesota has like the largest, I think it's Somalian population outside of Somalia.
I don't think I've ever met anyone from Somalia.
I don't know.
Have you? Oh, no.
Maybe I have, and I don't remember.
Or they didn't tell me.
I've met plenty of Nigerians.
I have. No, I have. I have. Yes, they were actually living in San Antonio.
In San Antonio.
Mm-hmm. I was actually surprised by that. I met quite a few people from Nigeria, and with a really cool accent. Well, if you call it. How can you do that one?
Oh God, no. I'm sure I could, but
I want you to do it
because they have more melanin in their skin than me. I feel like if I didn't do it right, you'd be that.
But you'd be butchered.
I'll wait till I can do it right.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to have a Nigerian priest at my church.
Really?
I think it was Father Leo. He was the best.
So you'd be able to pick up on that. Maybe just think back.
I'd have to practice.
Yeah,
I don't want to waste time practicing here. But he had like the best sermons. Like,
really?
Yeah. I'm grew up Catholic, so
I did too, but I don't practice anymore.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay, it was like
so. When did you quit? And do your parents resent you for it?
Oh wow! Yeah, I'm sure. I'm assuming yours do.
No,
they don't. Okay.
My mom just doesn't really talk about it.
That's how my mom is.
And my dad doesn't. I mean, he's like me. He's like.
Oh, okay. Well, that
I'm sure
works
he
for
doesn't
you, then.
want me putting that on blast, but because he's older. My dad's like 75.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm the wee baby.
Oh, how many siblings?
I have 2 siblings.
Oh.
They're both half siblings.
Okay.
I got a brother and a sister.
You're still the baby.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the baby, but I only have one older sibling. Not even older. Well, it is older. He is older. He's 11 months older.
11 months older?
Yeah, so you can imagine. We're both pets.
And so you have younger siblings as well?
No, it's just us two.
Just you two?
Mm-hmm. Small family. But what were we saying prior to that about?
Okay, so we were talking about Nigerians, and we were talking about diversity.
Being Catholic.
Oh, being
not
Catholic.
Practicing.
Yeah.
So I stopped when I guess I got out of Catholic school. I had to go to Catholic school.
You went to Catholic school?
Yeah.
Did you get beaten?
I was treated like complete crap in Catholic school. I was, if you can imagine being in small towns in Georgia, in Illinois, it's primarily Caucasians, and my brother and I were the only Latinos in our school. So people, and I don't even think there were black people in our school.
Yeah.
So we were treated so differently I just
by the kids themselves or by the faculty?
From the like faculty. Kids are. I don't think kids know better at that age.
Racism is learned.
Exactly.
It's a learned behavior.
I definitely feel like, and my dad tells me stories, remembering back to those days. And I don't remember them as a kid, or at least I didn't pick up on it. But he tells me stories of him having to go down to the school and get upset.
Protect you?
Yeah, because he felt like we were mistreated, and it's like crazy to even hear it because it's like I didn't even pick up on that.
I mean, as a kid, yesterday I had a memory come back to me of like when I moved to Oklahoma, and I was remembering one of my first experiences at the school from the kids. One kid called another kid the N-word.
Oh my God. See, how do you even like learn these things?
From their parents or whoever, their grandparents or whoever's raising them.
Yeah.
It's learned behavior.
That's insane. That's actually really sad, too.
It is.
To even get that in your vocabulary, I think is really sad.
Like, every time I think back of, like, could this have been racist about Oklahoma?
Right,
it's like,
yeah.
Holy shit. And then I look back for one item, and then I unlock, like, 10 more racist items. Of like, oh my gosh,
I would have
God, that's awful.
No.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Not everyone's bad.
Not everyone.
But yeah, I remember really disliking Illinois for that reason. And that's why we were there for such a short amount of time with my dad.
You lived in Illinois?
Just 3 years.
Where?
The worst 3 years of my life.
Where?
Belleville, which is also very small.
I know where Belleville is.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't. I actually met someone from Belleville recently. I don't remember who it was. And I was like, no. Oh, I think it was, I'm going to drop a name. Dino? We both know Dino?
Yes, I love Dino.
I know, he says the same thing
He's
about
so
you.
cool.
He like loves you. We did a commercial together, and he told me he was from Belleville, Illinois. And I was like, no, you're not. There's no way that I've ever met anyone from Belleville, Illinois. But it was interesting. We were both like kind of connecting through that. I was like, I didn't like that place, by the way.
They were just like
awful people.
Shitty people. Oh,
he even says it himself. He's like, I guess as a white man, I never noticed it. But he's like, I could see that happening in that town. So I was like, yeah, never go. But anyway, I quit practicing after I got out of Catholic school. And my dad, I do not tell him.
How old were you when you got out of Catholic school? Was that like high school and everything?
No, not high school. It was right when 6th grade started. So we moved to Texas when I was in 6th grade.
Oh, okay.
And it was my first public school experience. Which
okay.
Is scary.
So your parents didn't go, did your mom still go to mass every Sunday?
She honestly never really grew up religious. I think she did it for us, just to get us in the right state of mind, I guess. I don't know.
I went to mass every Sunday. I was an altar boy.
I was an altar girl. I know, it's like you don't really hear a lot of girls doing it, but I was like, I'm gonna be an altar.
The candle, pour the wine.
Oh my God, I was terrified. That could have probably been our first acting experience, right?
I think it was. Like, well, one of the first.
Right?
I had always put on shows for my parents or whoever would look.
I never did that, but I wish I had. But yeah, I remember like, you're basically following a script, so to speak.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Doing the you're like, oh my God, please don't.
Did you ever have to ring the bells?
I don't think I did. I don't think I did the bell.
I had one priest, Father, I forget his name, but he was from India. He was the only one who wanted us to ring the bells at like certain points. And he would just like, we'd be kneeling and he'd be up on the altar and then he'd kind of like go like this with his hand. And that's when you know. Like, that was the only time my heart started pounding, because the rest of it I had down.
You're like, is it
but
gonna
then
be
this
on
guy's
beat?
like thrown into this whole new element. He wants bells.
That's insane.
Yeah, like, wiggle the finger. Oh, I gotta ring the bells.
I don't think we were. I think they were scared of us ringing the bell. We never had to do that.
I mean, because if you ring the bell at a long time, it's loud.
It's loud, and you know it's like the only thing people are listening to at that moment.
Right.
You're like, is it off beat? Am I going too slow?
One time flung a bunch of incense in the charcoal puck on the front row, on the front pew.
That is so good.
It was like a high mass, like Christmas, I'm doing the thing. It was the same guy. Like every other priest did the incense himself.
I've never seen
But then he wanted the bells and he wanted me to toss the incense around.
I'm surprised they trusted y'all with that.
I'm surprised too, because that one swing, I don't think I got enough like G-force on it, so like the lid came up, it went about this far out, and the whole front row went like, it's like a Six Flags commercial. I'm like,
That That's a good one. I hope someone captured that on video.
I don't think so, but I just started laughing at I saw their faces. I was like...
And that's so strong. It is strong.
That would burn all the motherfuckers.
Yep. Did they run?
No, they just flinched, and then I just kind of went, oh, and kept going.
That would have been great to watch. No, we always had the priest do it.
That should be like don't trust kids with flaming things.
Definitely not. That's a little dangerous for kids. How old were you?
I think when that incident happened,
5?
No. 15.
Oh, okay. You were a teenager at least.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow,
15.
How long were you doing altar work?
I started around probably, I don't know, 7th grade, so that would make me, I don't know, 12.
So you did it when you were a lot older than I was.
All through high school.
We were young when I did it, so I didn't do it. Because I didn't go to Catholic school when I was in high school. Yeah. That's funny. So you stopped going to Mass when? Like what age?
When I went out to college.
Okay.
And then I'd have to go to Mass with my mom every time I came back home to make her feel good.
Of course.
And then I usually go, but now it's just sort of like weaned off. And my mom was born Catholic. Okay. I was born Catholic. Mm-hmm. My dad was not. He started in various like Protestant type churches and then converted to Catholicism around the time I was like 5.
Okay. So he did that for you? Or for
For
himself?
her. He did it for
your
her.
mom, okay.
Yeah. Did it for her and a bit for himself.
Yeah.
He kind of stopped going, so it was mostly me and mom, and then...
Same.
And then mom would just go, and then dad started going with mom again, just to get out of the house and to keep her company. Because they're both retired now.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
So.
That's good that they're doing that too. My dad never went, because he is a Jehovah's Witness.
Oh.
Yeah. Apparently, I don't know.
Is he like practicing Jehovah's?
No, he doesn't practice, but he's
birthdays?
still... We do get... Yeah, I think he wanted us to celebrate all of the things that most kids did.
Was he like raised Jehovah's?
I want to say yes. He's like very, very, very religious.
Still is?
Yes, I know he prays every night. He doesn't attend any masses, or I don't know what you would call them for Jehovah's Witnesses. He never pushed his religion on us.
That's good.
But I did tell him one day that I didn't believe in the Bible, and he flipped. Like, he flipped on me. And
he got angry?
He got angry. He was like, you better take that back.
Let's talk about that after this short break.
Okay.
We need to take a water break. We'll be right back on MTV3. Stay cool!
I know, it's like getting really hot.
Those are weak claps. There we go.
If I talk like this low, can you hear me? I'm a loud talker.
You'd have to get up close.
Okay, good.
NPR style.
Okay, good. I didn't know if I was yelling in the thing, you know?
Oh, no. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Just make it sure.
Okay. We're back.
We're back.
We're back. I don't remember what we were talking about. Catholicism. But I want to get on to other subjects.
Yeah, let's get on other subjects.
And also, I could use your assistance answering some questions from fans. In a bit.
Okay.
After talking about you.
Okay.
Okay, so you do acting and modeling, yes?
Correct.
Did you start that before or after you moved to Austin?
I just started a year ago.
A year ago?
A year ago. So I've been here 8 years now. And it all started, I was sitting at a desk with a computer at my office job. And I remember looking outside thinking, it's such a pretty day. And I don't get to enjoy my days because I'm sitting at a desk. Mm-hmm. And it was the craziest decision I ever made. But that moment, I was like, life's too short. I'm going to quit and I'm going to go pursue dreams that I actually want to pursue. And I left that job. I remember writing the email to my manager and I was like, I'm done. I can't do it anymore.
What were you doing?
At that point, I was working at the VA.
Okay.
So I worked at the VA for quite a while. And if you've ever been to the VA data center, which you probably haven't because it's very secured.
My dad lives at the VA pretty much, in Oklahoma.
Oh, okay. Does he work at the data center or?
Oh no, he's fully retired. He was a teacher. My dad was an English teacher. My mom was the school counselor.
Oh, is that how they met? Is that how they met?
No, they met at a biker bar up in the mountains called the Little Bear, outside of Denver. Yeah.
Nice. Well, yeah. So VA has no windows. So there's like you walk by.
Oh God! So you're just under the fluorescence.
You're under the fluorescence. You're like in these rooms that are secured, and you walk out and you can see how pretty it is. There are windows, but
were you like data entry or?
I started out data entry, but I got promoted a couple times at the office and went on to doing like training managers how to use Primavera, Oracle, and that was like the last of it. So, and I just remember. It wasn't something I was interested in. It was tedious work, and it just wasn't for me.
How long had you been working there?
I worked there for like 4 years.
4 years. Was that your first office job?
No, I had a few others prior. None of them were ever enjoyable. And I think that's at the point where you're like, okay, if I'm not enjoying myself, even if the money's good.
Like, I know I'm dying slowly, but I feel like this is killing me a lot quicker.
It definitely felt like I was just... because then you end up going, like, I don't want to do anything at night because I have to get up so early in the morning just to go to this job. And my life was just
It consumes your life.
It consumes it. And you're just doing something that doesn't make you happy, ultimately. Every single day.
And it's not like you have kids you have to support or anything.
Just my dog and I.
Yeah. Fur baby.
My fur barber. So yeah, I decided, you know what? I've wanted to act for so long, but it was always like a dream.
How long did you want to?
When I was young. So I did theater in high school.
Oh.
And it was one of those things where I had to choose. So a lot of my decisions were based off my parents, and I don't blame them for putting me in any position because they did really well with me. But
I can relate.
Yeah, my parents were not into anything artistic. They were like, "That's not going to take you far."
Oh, no, that I can't relate. they were my parents. I'm lucky. They were like, "Whatever you want to do, we'll support you."
They do that now.
As long as you're happy.
They're like
they
that
do now.
But I think
That's
because
good.
they see the things that I am doing and they see how happy I am.
Before it wasn't even like in their reality.
No, they're like, nope. You have your priority is to get benefits. Get your your office job that pays well. And it was like, well, that's not my idea of success necessarily. It's theirs.
Right.
But I lived like that for so long. So I finally said, I live on my own. It's my dog and I can make decisions for myself. And I did. I quit.
That's great.
And they didn't take that well at first. That was a long way coming, but I mean, they're very supportive now. My mom's so happy to see my face on a billboard.
So then walk me through what you had to do to get where you are now. Like, what'd you have to do to pay your bills? What'd you do to get an agent? All this sort of stuff.
So first things first, I was like, I need to find some kind of stability. I just decided to do brand ambassador work. So I kind of did that, which is it's also fun because you're in a new setting all the time.
Right.
Promoting for different companies.
And seeing new faces walk
you're meeting,
by.
And there's a lot of actors in the brand ambassador field. So it's like I was also meeting tons of actors who were giving me advice. But immediately after I quit, I went online, looked for all the agents in Austin. And my first one that I contacted was actually Brown. I didn't know what kind of agency they were, but contacted them. I'm guessing his name was Justin Brown. Scoped out my Instagram.
I've met him.
You've met him? Okay.
I was with Brown very briefly.
Oh.
I'll tell you that story off record.
I feel like I know where it's going to go. So I just met Justin Brown, or he asked me to come in. I guess it was what do they do? The big...
Oh yeah, the table, and they say, so what do you want to do? And,
well, I didn't
and they tell
get that.
You're going to need headshots from our photographer.
Yeah, yep. Well, I didn't get that till after.
Yeah.
But I did go in. I didn't even say anything. First of all, I was sitting in the waiting room, and there were tons of women in there, and men, all beautiful. They all look like models.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know why I thought this would be the best thing to wear at a, viewing. I wore overalls to it. And I was like, everyone...
That's quirky.
I looked like Dora the Explorer. I was wearing a little... Oh, God.
Did you have a bob haircut?
My bob was coming in. Or no, actually, at that time, it was long. I had cut it after, which was a whole other story. But I had my overalls and I carried the backpack. And I remember looking at all the girls. They were wearing heels. They were low cut, blouses, and they all looked great. And one by one, you see them go in and out, and you're like, okay, I'm not this. Why am I here? Mm-hmm. I walk in. It took a few minutes. I look at Justin. He's like, without me even saying anything or him saying anything, he's like, we like you. We've already looked at your Instagram. We like your stuff. We want to sign you. And I was like, whoa, no questions? Like, that's it? And he's like, it was funny because I have like a mixture of, photos and funny videos. And he's like, we want you to go the funny route though. We don't want you to go sexy or you're going to do funny. And I was like, okay, that works. I can.
Also, like, strategically, career-wise, funny is better.
Absolutely.
Because
which is
the
more
older the older you get, the more viable you are for that kind of thing.
Absolutely. So I was all on board. I was like, really? That's it? You're going to sign me? And he said, yeah. He's like, and I mean, we didn't talk about the headshots in that moment, but he's like, we do want to sign you. And I was like, thank you for the Instagram. I didn't know that I was going to get signed. I remember walking out and calling my mom. I was like, they want to sign me. And that was that. And then we had the headshot conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Like months later. Because it took me a few months to sign. I didn't want to sign for 2 years. Mm-hmm. Because I was like, I feel like...
for 2 years?
Yeah, they do 2-year contracts.
Oh, I see. I thought you were like just negotiating for 2 years before signing.
I mean, I knew it was 2 years, and I had spoken to other friends that had been with Brown prior, and they were like, 2 years is long. And I was like, that is long.
It is long, yeah.
Especially if I don't feel like I'm being represented. I would like the opportunity to leave. And so I did request that I could leave if I didn't feel represented, and Justin was like, of course. And I have that, on writing.
That was good.
Yeah.
Good.
So I was like, okay. So after a few months, I finally was like, I'm just going to sign. I haven't heard from other agencies that I contacted, so I'm going to just sign because I don't have anything to show for myself.
Who else did you contact?
I think I contacted Acclaim.
Okay.
And who are you with?
Acclaim.
Okay, that's what I thought. I hadn't heard from them. And then there was another one at the time. I think they're now gone. I can't remember the name.
Tag?
I don't remember. No, I don't think it was that. There was one that a lot of people were in that I knew, and I think they're officially gone. I don't know what happened.
A Millennium Agency?
I don't know.
They were around for a while. I've seen some come.
Yeah, come and go. Yeah, so I was actually kind of happy that I didn't get contacted by them because I was like, oh, that would have sucked.
Yeah.
So then, signed with Brown, and then my adventure began over a year ago.
A year ago. And so you've been doing acting and print work.
I have. So print work, I was told I should do it just for my income and stability as well. Mm-hmm. So I do pick those up. But acting obviously is where my passion is. It is very weird going into a photo shoot when you don't feel like a model. Yeah. I don't know, but it's cool to say that I do modeling.
Well, I mean, you got paid for it.
I'm getting paid for it.
You're a model.
But I'm like, I make sure I tell people I am a commercial model. Nothing more.
Why?
Because I'm not I don't know. I'm not a fashion model, even though I did a fashion shoot.
So you're fashion. Do you think, like, if you were offered an attractive modeling gig, like fashion modeling gig, would you do it? If it seemed like something in line with your values and had pretty good money?
I would say in this moment, yes.
Yeah.
Just
for the money.
Yeah, for the money. Yeah. For sure for the money. And then, I mean, I could always pursue acting alongside that, I think. I would hope.
Have you done any acting classes?
I did a couple improv classes.
Oh, well, where'd you go?
Wow. Cold Town?
Cold Town, that's what I was going to say.
Do you do Cold Town?
No, I've not.
Okay,
no.
Yeah, it was so, I felt in my element.
Yeah.
Everything felt comfortable. I would definitely want to further my education in improv.
Yeah.
And I think it also helps with auditions.
I think
you have to improv a lot.
Improv classes help with, like, everything. Just even interpersonal communication, because it helps you get out of your shell.
True, yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then, it forces you to ask questions constantly.
Right. And listen.
And listen, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I need that. I need to listen. I talk a lot.
It's a practice. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a talker.
Me too.
I noticed that. I'm like, I gotta just shh.
You thought about making your own podcast? You can talk all you want.
I know. But then I'm like, I'd be bored of hearing myself talk all the time. I still do, kind of, constantly. I did do a podcast I did start one with a girl at one point, and we just had a falling out, so it didn't go far. But I mean, it would have been neat to do it.
Was there any particular topic?
We were both actors, so we were wanting to talk about, I guess, our struggles and our successes and.
That's the shit I talk about all the time on here. Yeah,
I'd like that. I mean, especially for an actor, I'd like to see that stuff.
Right.
I like to see.
You can learn something from someone else's story.
And that's what I'm grateful for, that a lot of people do post their stories and talk about it, and so I get to hear it. Like if I'm on the right path or if I'm like way far out.
I ask myself that constantly.
Yeah.
Like I don't think some days are better than others. Some days are worse than others, but I think like every day there's at least one moment.
Yeah.
Like just one fleeting moment where it's like, what do I need to be doing different?
I know.
Where do I need to be different?
Exactly. I ask myself the same thing. I think it's just a very hard industry here in Austin too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I ask myself that all the time.
Like I feel like there's not a lot of work here.
They're really, especially, I don't know if you're dealing with it now, but like this last couple months, just nothing really.
Yeah.
I've got a couple things, but it's
the gig we did together was the last one I had.
That was the last big, well, other than print, but the acting one, yeah. That was the last acting gig that I've done.
And I don't think, like I've auditioned for a few films and short films and some TV show stuff, but they don't really come here that much.
No, they don't.
But then I see other people that I know who do get that shit. It's like,
but
where the fuck did you get that audition? Like, who do you know?
That's like same question. I want to know. I don't
because
know if
I personally know people who live here, but they're getting work
outside. Yeah,
outside.
How are they doing it?
I have no idea.
We're on the same page then, because I would love to find out.
And then I start like judging myself. Like, am I just not working hard enough? Am I bad?
No. Well, one, I don't think you're bad at all.
Thanks.
I do think, I don't know. I would like to ask them that question myself. I don't. And to be fair, I do find that people don't really have humility in the industry, and so I feel like they post every little thing that they're doing, but they're not necessarily as big as they make it out to be.
Right.
And that can get, and this is why I get upset, I guess, with people who do just post every little thing they do. It's great that they're on these projects, but it's kind of deceiving.
And I also get upset with people of mine who are friends and acquaintances, and we were pretty tight at one point, especially when we were kind of like on the same level career-wise, and then they get a little something, and that unlocks so many other doors, and then all of a sudden it's I mean, I question myself on things constantly. I like, am I seeing this correctly? But I mean, more often than not, I'm right. Like, I feel like this person thinks they're better than me now. They're too good.
That's exactly what it is. And I only know this because I have, like, you meet people that everyone knows each other, I guess. Yeah. Eventually, everyone meets each other. Oh, yeah. And you hear from other people, like, I was on that same project with them, and it wasn't as big as they made it out to be. And it's like, oh, okay, because here I am, like, doubting myself because I thought they were doing this huge project that was, like, you know, filmed, like a huge film that they were going to be in, or, you know, it's not as big as I think people do make it out to be.
And the real awful thing, though, is that, like, other people who are looking for actors and stuff, they might see that and say, ooh, this person's got stuff going on.
Right.
So you know,
like, you're like, should I be posting every little thing that I work on that's not that big? No, I don't want to. I want to have humility.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want, and my dad always reminds me of that. Ever since I started booking and stuff, he was just like,
I think
maintain it.
Humility and just treating people well,
absolutely,
and being kind will get you further for longer in your career.
Agreed.
It's a marathon.
Yeah, that is so funny that you just said that.
when you like, I always watch interviews and stuff with, like, other actors and comedians and stuff, just because I don't know, I just like to hear their stories and kind of look for little tidbits of advice or something that might click with me.
Absolutely.
And I've noticed a lot of them, it's like the people who last are the ones you get along with easy. You know? Agreed.
I agree with that.
Because if you're a dick, no one's going to want to work with you.
Which is funny, because you do meet those people who do the little things, but they already have that mindset. They're like, I've been doing things, so I'm better. I've been in LA, I'm better.
Looks fade a lot quicker than memories.
Absolutely. I agree.
That should be on a shirt too. Looks fade a lot quicker than
fairy
memories.
dust.
Pride.
Jazz hands. I love that too. That's a good. But it's funny that you said marathon because and this made me sad to hear. I had a friend message me yesterday on Instagram, and he said, every time I see a billboard in San Antonio with your face on it, I get sad. And I said, why do you get sad? And he said, because I was struggling in LA to get just that little bit of work, and I didn't even get that. And I was like, hold on. I was like, you are still he's my age. I was like, you're still so young. You could still achieve the success. You just gave up. You went to LA and gave up. And I was like, don't give up. If you still find that you're sad about stuff, someone else's successes in the industry, that means you still have that passion. So keep going. And I felt bad. Like, it almost makes you, even though it was a great success to have the billboards in San Antonio, it's like, I don't want to make anyone feel less than they are because of my successes.
Yeah.
So it is kind of like, you do want to maintain some humility, and I won't post everything I do for that reason, but I like the things that I do find are huge in my life, I will share it because and
as well you should, because that's a major accomplishment. Yeah. But I feel like it's the intention you put behind it.
Right, exactly.
Are you trying to flex, or are you just saying, like, I'm so excited about this, I want to share it with you?
100%. Yeah, there are people that will post every little thing they're doing in their day that involve, like, I'm going to go do an audition. I'm going to do this
I'm going to the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't need to tell us every play-by-play of your day.
Yeah.
Because it just makes people feel like shit. If they're, you know what I mean?
And I don't want to use my Instagram for that. I want to put whatever I want to put.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
It's my art project, you know?
Mm-hmm. I agree. So, you know, I try and post, like, silly, stupid stuff.
Your Instagram. What's your Instagram handle?
Alyceratops. 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 Like a dinosaur. That'll
be in the description as well.
Oh, beautiful.
Your Instagram's great. Your videos are funny as hell. I like what you're doing.
I mean, it's what I enjoy, but then I think about what I post, and I'm like, people might think I don't have a life. I'm just sitting here dancing,
filming your dog to some 90s R&B slow jam.
Oh yeah. She's the icing on the cake. That's the bonus there. But my dancing.
I like it. I think it's funny.
I know. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it funny. We're gonna keep it light.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like that's just your natural proclivity. Yeah. That's what you enjoy.
I do.
That's what you should do.
I'm going to.
You are doing it. You're doing it.
I need more comedy. I need to do comedy. So I don't know if you know a friend of mine named Alysia Banks. She's also in the industry.
Alysia Banks. I might. I'm really bad with names.
I know. Her and I go to almost all the same auditions because we look very similar, and we both have the same name, Alysia. Mm-hmm. So we became really close, and we were talking about doing our own skits and filming them, and hopefully going somewhere with it. So we would like to write our own scripts, and I mean, it seems like the next step. But it would be what you're doing with your podcast, where we would be talking about real life struggles of auditioning and what we go through internally and the successes we do have occasionally. But that would be great to have you on if we did it.
I would love to do that.
Would that be great?
I also have writing experience. I've got a lot of writing experience if you're interested.
I would love that. I think it would be great to start doing that stuff. So
I do too.
Maybe that's our next move.
If you're not getting work, make your own work.
That's exactly what we said. We're going to start making our own work, get noticed.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be fun too, just to do something, you know, like what you're doing, just showing
totally
the life behind an actor.
The two alleys.
I know.
Do you have a title yet?
We don't. We were talking about meeting and talking about our scripts and where we'd go with it next. We need to meet. We actually need to meet.
I have an idea. Okay, are you familiar with the reference from Friday? Bye, Felicia.
I am. I hear it all the time with my name.
Hi, Alicia.
That's great.
Right?
Oh my God, you just like, okay, I'm gonna, the title has just now been broken.
That was
Fairy dust.
That was my pitch.
Thank you, James, for that. We might steal it.
By all means.
Hi, Alicia. I like it.
Hi, Alicia.
That's good. Okay, we're going to do it. Oh, yeah. We have the same name. We might as well play off of it. Right? We spell it different, but it's still the same name. You're going to be in it. You're going to be in it, James.
Yes. So I've got some questions.
Okay.
I've got... What horrible grammar. I'm sorry, Mom. I've got. I'll say I have got a unnecessary redundancy. I received some questions from viewers of the show.
Oh, okay.
This first message is from let's see. Oh, we're good on time. Let me check the time real quick. Let me make sure. La la la.
Are we? No.
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
We've got some time.
Sweet.
Okay. This first one is from Jaime Hernandez. Jaime says, "Sup, bud? I got a question. What does the DEA and other agencies of this nature do with confiscated narcotics and drug dealers' Skrilla money?" I know what Skrilla is, dude.
I didn't. I'm glad you clarified.
You don't know what Skrilla? I'm the white one.
I know. I was like, please clarify what that word is.
Gotta get that Skrill to get that grill.
I'm gonna start using that. Thanks, Jaime.
Some Skrilla. Bitch, better have my money. Do they still discard narcotics by setting them ablaze? So, what do you think? Do you know anything about this?
I don't.
Okay, so let's break down the question.
Okay.
What do policing agencies do with confiscated drugs, and what do they also do with the money involved in drug deals?
Jeez. Ooh. Is there an actual answer to that?
There is. I've looked it up.
Oh, you've already looked it up.
Mm-hmm.
What do they do? Well, I'm gonna say that. Well, if you looked it up, is this like? Is it?
I'm not looking for the right answer. I'm just asking, like, what immediately pops in your head? Like, what would you assume?
Cops keep it for themselves, or they do?
Yeah.
But that's probably way off. But I was like, of course.
Oh, is it?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, is it?
I don't know. Dun dun dun. I'm gonna say they keep some for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to release some, or bring it in. I don't know. And then with the money. God, I never thought of that. They pay off. They pay off other drug dealers to. No, I don't.
I mean, if you're thinking of it, I'm sure someone else thought of it and did it.
They're probably pay. Well,
I mean, just because you're wearing a badge doesn't mean you're not a fucking scammer.
This is very true.
Con man.
Uh-huh.
Criminals.
I would say that they're paying drug dealers to be like their insider, and then.
Oh yeah.
I'm just thinking of Narcos here, but I don't even know if that's like because
that's a thing. There's undercover.
They've paid undercover. Yeah.
Yeah.
It may be dangerous.
They'll pay addicts to go undercover.
Oh yeah. Okay. See,
yeah.
I'm not that far off.
So, as faithful fans of this show will know, from my 420 episode, I talked about the first time I smoked marijuana. And the weed was a dime bag. It was on my 17th birthday, and I was hanging out with my friend at his older brother's house. His older brother didn't smoke or anything because he worked on an oil rig, so he got drug tested. But I mean, he was a good guy, and he wanted us to be there for a safe environment and everything.
Yeah.
But he called up a friend of his, and was like, "I want a dime bag, which is $10 worth." And 30 minutes later, a cop car pulls up. And it's being driven by a cop in uniform in my small Oklahoma town. And some other plainclothed dude gets out of the passenger seat and walks up to the door. So, and I had heard, so I think that was some confiscated weed probably. Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe they were just dealing with the cops. And I also heard story because there's a lot of meth labs around
really?
where I grew up. Yes. Because of that, I can spot a meth head a mile away.
Really?
I know the behavior. I know, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I always heard rumor that, they were busting these and then turning around and selling the ice.
Oh, I believe it.
I believe it
I
too.
believe that.
Especially in a small town where there's
it's crazy
not so much accountability.
Yeah, and they show up in the cop car? That's like ballsy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's insane.
It was like friends from high school, friends the older brother grew up with,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that, but...
So there's definitely some chicanery.
I believe it.
But officially, I did some research on this question. Officially, there is no one method of going about it. It depends on the agency. It depends on the office. It depends on for the police. It depends on the city, the district, any of those things.
Yeah.
Some of them, a lot of them do incinerate.
Okay.
The drugs they will go to, I don't know, some trash company. They go to like third party
I didn't know that.
companies and maybe pay them, or it could be like a pro bono kind of a thing where they will, like a garbage place, will incinerate the drugs.
Do they really incinerate it?
This is just stuff I found on
Are they
Quora.
making sure their third parties really doing that?
Are they throwing pounds and pounds of grass and then just standing around it with a fucking hot dog?
I don't know. Maybe.
Some of them get put in like secure tubs and then like destroyed with like acid.
Wow, that seems intense.
Yeah, some get buried or something.
Buried? Buried where? They're going back to that.
There's no one regulated way that they go about it.
There's some fishy things going on there.
There's definitely fishy things going on.
That's not all being incinerated or
acid,
poured acid on. No, or I don't believe that. Maybe it's true, I don't know. I don't want to offend anyone.
Could be they might pump heroin and crack cocaine into inner cities to disenfranchise black people, like what happened all over the United States during and right after the Vietnam War.
That's a good way of looking at it too.
Eugenics.
That's my
cultural eugenics.
I don't know who views the podcast, but no means to offend anyone. But yeah, definitely. That's got to be the case too. Like you said, depending on the districts, the station maybe, the police stations. I don't know.
I'm sure some places do destroy it, and I'm sure there are some bad actors in the world taking advantage of things.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
And then the money's probably the thing that they really keep track of, because that's usually how you bust criminals is follow the money. Follow the money. So the money's probably accounted for. So that probably goes back to, I don't know, Treasury or something. Oh. Or I also read that the money can be used to destroy the confiscated drugs. The money can also be put toward, social programs and things like that.
Okay.
So there's your answer, Jaime.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I've never thought of it.
I hadn't either.
Never thought of that. That's a great question.
Okay. This next one is from Matt Fisher.
Woohoo.
He's got a few things here. I'll just run through them all.
Okay.
Ever seen the movie Dear God? No. Never heard of it. What actually happens to letters to Santa, Ex-Wife 1, Easter Bunny, and Satan if there is proper postage on it? Is there a special furnace for such a thing?
That's a great question.
They walk to the furnace and grab the pot before it's incinerated, and they use the letters to Satan to roll a big fat
I believe that.
satanic joint.
That's a good one.
And that's their worship.
Yep, that is true. Fact.
I feel like I would gather those letters to Santa and just read them.
I would too.
And laugh about it and put it on Reddit.
That's a good... I wonder what happens to that with real postage.
That's a good question.
Like, Well, I guess everything that's addressed to Santa, you can't. Can you legally throw it out? Like as a
I don't know.
office?
If you're opening another thing, that's a federal offense.
Right, exactly. And just because it says Santa, that could be someone's nickname.
This is a
Right?
whole thing.
Yeah, where does it go? Where does it really go?
Where does it
Or
go?
is, like, I don't even know what people put as the address on there, though. Where do people put? North Pole?
North Pole,
Because they can't
maybe?
go anywhere, really.
I'm sure there might be a specific address online.
They're all really going to the North Pole.
They could all be going to Pepe Sylvia.
Sylvia.
Do you watch?
No.
Do you watch It's Always Sunny?
No, I do. I did. I haven't watched it in a while.
There's an episode where Charlie and Mac work in they get an office job and they're working in the mail room, and Charlie's just like in this windowless basement mail room, and he's like chain smoking cigarettes and drinking pot after pot after pot of coffee, and he starts like going all psychotic, and he thinks he sees this like whole conspiracy because they keep getting letters to someone named Pepe Sylvia, but there is no Pepe Sylvia.
I have not seen that one.
Oh yeah, that was the reference.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say, are parents actually putting the letters in the mailbox in front of the children?
I'm sure there's at least been one child one time who
Did it themselves,
or had their eye on their parent. They're like, I don't trust you. I'm not leaving your side until this is in the mailbox.
These are good questions.
These are good
Like,
questions.
I never thought of them.
We just unlocked
Should
it.
we find, like, do you know the answer?
No, I
I'm
just
gonna look it
read
up.
this before I started this, so I didn't
I'm
really.
totally gonna look that up.
Yeah.
I'll find it out.
Okay, and then the final one is. This one took me a minute to figure out. I'm gonna read it first,
Okay.
and then I'll tell you how stupid I am. DTS is fucked. How is it that some states can acknowledge and certain cities and counties within said state observe or not observe, or DST, not DTS, DST? How does one get to work at a specific time? DST. I had no idea what DST stood for. Do you?
I was just gonna say destination, but that's probably way off.
That's what I thought first too.
Okay.
And DST, I looked it up. Daylight savings time.
Oh, duh.
Yeah, we are actors. We're morons.
We're morons. No, wouldn't even thought of that. Oh, but that is great question.
I didn't even know until I received this that some places in the U.S. don't honor daylight savings time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't either. That's what he said, is like, how come some places do it and some don't?
Well,
I didn't know that. I thought they all had to do it.
I thought they all had to as well. What do you mean by not honoring it? Like, they don't...
Not honoring it as in like, oh, we don't do that.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Where, like, do we know what other places don't?
I have no idea. I kind of looked it up when I looked up what's DST and I saw daylight savings time. I was just kind of like reading a little bit about it on Wikipedia, but I was like right before this, so I didn't really go in depth.
Yeah, I need to look that up. I want to look that up.
I had no idea.
I didn't. If that's the case, I didn't know either.
Yeah.
And now I'm curious.
I know that it started for like industrial world when clocks and stuff. I don't know. And trains, time zones. I don't know.
It's too much.
It
It's a lot.
hurts.
Yes, too many questions.
It hurts. Give me gooder questions.
Yeah, that's a tough one. What was his name? Matt. It's a great question.
Mad is what I am because I don't think good.
Not think good.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think that's it. Do you have anything else you want to say?
No, just
Any questions?
follow your dreams.
Do you want to tell them your Insta handle?
Oh, yes. It's Alyceratops because I do like dinosaurs. It's ALYCERATOPS. If I'm spelling that wrong, that would be really stupid.
Well, lucky for you, I'm going to type it out, and the
Perfect.
link to your Instagram will be in the description, as will the link to my social media at James J. Asher. And if you would like to help support this show, to help me keep creating more and better content, get gooder gear and more opportunities to do this, to do new things, to get great new guests like wonderful Alysia here. You can become a patron at patreon.com/ThatThingWithJames. You can make a monthly contribution as low as $1 a month. Again, there will be links for this stuff in the description. Alysia, thank you so much.
Of course.
I'm so happy.
I'm so happy.
I've been excited since we agreed on the date.
And I will do many more, and hopefully we have our show.
I would love that. And you're always welcome back on this show. I've had a
perfect.
great time.
Oh, good.
Thank you
Me
so
too.
much.
You're welcome. That thing.
That thing. All right. I love you all. Thank you for watching and or listening. Bye.
Fairy dust.
Woo!
Woo!